interesting times. This week's stories. In Colombia, the Church of Christ Aid to Humanity reaches Bogota and helps Venezuelan migrants. American Samoa celebrates Flag Day. The Republic of Palau hosts its largest U.S. military exercise in 3 decades. Plus, in Los Angeles, Major League Baseball Food Festival creates a field of dreams for baseball and food fans. Hello everyone, I am Lonnie Valdecantos, bringing you stories from around the globe, and this is Eagle News, Washington, D.C. Weekend Edition. In Bogota, Colombia, Venezuelan migrants and other residents received help from the Church of Christ through the Felix Y. Manalo Foundation's Aid to Humanity project. This was in cooperation with the Office of Migration Affairs of the Mayor of Bogota, the Fundación Nueva Gobernanza, and the CIAM, or the Centro Integral of Ayuda al Migrante, a center where they assist migrants from different countries like Venezuela, Mexico, Guatemala, Panama, Bolivia, and Peru, by offering transitory help to people and families in vulnerable or social emergency situations who arrive in Bogota. Eagle News correspondent Nadine Duenas has more. Take a look.
Faced by the troubling global issue of hunger and poverty, people here in Bogota, Colombia live one day at a time, many not knowing what awaits them the next day. In an effort to help ease their burden, an outreach mission was brought here by the Church of Christ and the Felix Y. Manalo Foundation, giving those here in this part of Colombia a reason to smile and many hope for a brighter future.
Bueno, no sé, imagino que muchos en el mundo pues ya saben la realidad que vivimos en nuestro país, pues, y motivado a eso pues uno sale acá, que entre comillas es lo más cerca a nuestro país, en busca de mejores oportunidades.
La situación en Venezuela está demasiado complicada. Una persona que gana 50 centavos de dólar por semana es muy difícil sobrevivir en un país así como ese. Incluso si viajas hasta el norte de Santander, que es parte de Colombia, puedes ver a los caminantes colombianos, caminantes venezolanos, colombo-venezolanos también, porque en la época que Venezuela tenía una buena posición económica, muchos colombianos están allá, ahora se están viniendo, caminando miles de kilómetros para llegar acá a Bogotá, a diferentes partes, Ecuador, Perú. Es difícil.
Entonces, los regulares son las personas que entraron con su pasaporte sellado, con pasaporte además, y se les entregó un permiso especial de permanencia que se llama PEP, y esas personas regulares pueden acceder a todo lo que un colombiano normal puede acceder: salud, educación, pues educación digamos que pueden acceder los irregulares también, pero todo lo que tiene que ver con salud, que es lo más importante, les pueden dar trabajo. Entonces los regulares están muy bien. El tema es con los irregulares llegan sin pasaporte, vienen caminando, no tienen ningún documento de identidad, y desafortunadamente por leyes colombianas ningún dinero público puede ir destinado a ayuda a una persona que no tenga identificación, que no se pueden identificar de ninguna manera. Y ellos son los que realmente más lo necesitan, porque no pueden acceder a salud y no pueden tener un trabajo formal. Entonces, pues son los que más ayuda necesitan, y acá lo que se orienta es a o consiguen su permiso especial de permanencia, o les ayudamos a conseguir colegios, ayudarles en toda la parte psicosocial, a orientarlos legalmente qué pueden y qué no pueden hacer.
At the Centro Integral de Atención al Migrante here in Bogota, Colombia, we are here on behalf of the Iglesia Ni Cristo, or Church of Christ. And today we had our Aid to Humanity, in which we are here to help alleviate poverty and to do our part to work hand in hand with the government here in Bogota, Colombia. We know that poverty is a problem, and a majority of them came from Venezuela. And we understand their situation now, they're hurting. And today we were able to extend our help through our care packages. Not only that, we also taught the words of our Almighty God written in the Holy Scriptures.
The Aid to Humanity held 6 outreach missions in 4 venues in the span of 2 days in Centro Integral de Atención al Migrante, norte de Bogotá, Salón de Eventos Club El Faisán, norte de Bogotá, Torres de Nueva Castilla 2, Tintal, sur de Bogotá, and in Reservado San Diego Bosa, in sur de Bogotá. Hundreds of recipients created lines that went out the door in all 4 venues. They received care packages that included personal hygiene products, groceries, and canned goods.
No está de más reiterar nuestros más sentidos agradecimientos por estar acá, por toda la disposición de ayudar, por no más venir a compartir con nosotros, lo cual es bastante significativo ver lo que estamos haciendo, porque yo creo que también esto es el primer paso para una gran alianza de que podamos seguir ayudándonos mutuamente en todo esto y realmente estamos muy agradecidos.
Pues me pareció muy bien porque incentivan a conocer un poco más sobre Dios, aparte de lo que hicieron de la ayuda pues sobre la comida, por decirlo así, es algo también que es muy bueno, de repente a muchos nos beneficia eso porque nos ayuda un poco en la parte económica.
Magnífico, magnífico, están obrando en el nombre del Señor y maravilloso que las personas se puedan beneficiar, que sigan haciendo esto. Sería maravilloso, como te digo, hacer una convocatoria más grande, que más familias se unan a la iglesia y que más familias resulten beneficiadas de su generosa labor aquí en Bogotá.
This outreach mission continues in various Latin American cities. Reporting from Bogotá, Colombia, I'm Nadine Dueñas for Eagle News. I'm 1 with 25.
Thanks, Nadine. When we come back, American Samoa celebrates Flag Day. The Republic of Palau hosts its largest U.S. military exercise in 3 decades. Eagle News Washington, D.C. Weekend Edition will return shortly. Welcome back. You are watching Eagle News Washington, D.C. Weekend Edition. The territory of American Samoa celebrates Flag Day each year in April. The origin of this public holiday can be traced as far back as 1900 when the United States took control over the eastern half of the Samoan Islands. But it wasn't until 1960 when the Samoans adopted its own flag still in use today. This year's schools and other institutions throughout the South Pacific Territory continue to show pride in their unique culture and status. Eagle News correspondent Arian Torres-Suan has more.
In a previous report from American Samoa, we highlighted the longboat race known as Fautasi, which served as the first day of series of events leading to the territory's Flag Day celebration. On the eve of the actual holiday, various groups showcased the Samoan culture through song and dance contests, before a jubilant crowd and a panel of judges. There were other moments when the audience was even invited to go up the stage and dance with the performers. High school student Ashley described her own costume.
I am wearing a taupo attire. A taupo is normally the daughter of the high chief, but in terms of performances in front of our island, it's usually the person that, a female, that a school, whoever decides to come and represent their school. In my case, I am the student body president, so therefore I am here as a taupo representing my school.
High school teacher Leah shared her own experience about preparing for these events, which meant a lot of sacrifice and cooperation from students and fellow teachers.
The SGA and the NTHS were honored to be given the opportunity to represent Newly Voltech. Although we want to take the whole entire school,
The number is very limited to these specific festivities. So the leadership team and the administration have decided that the SGA and the NTHS would represent Newly Votech. So the SGA and NATHS was able to put away and excuse himself from the classes in order to prep for our festivity here at the Utulei Swingaulo La Tuvasa. So they were able to prep for 2 months so we could come and show pride not only in Newly Votech but as well as American Samoa.
The final and main event was the Flag Day Parade, which took place at the Tafuna Veterans Stadium. There, various schools, government agencies, private organizations, and even other countries took part as they marched before a large cheering crowd and several dignitaries at the grandstand. Finally, Leia and her fellow teachers indicated their promise to continue promoting Samoan culture pride to the younger generations.
Having the opportunity to teach the students, the performers, the Samoan culture dances of the Ma'ulu'ulu, the Sasala Palapa, the Tawalunga, and also the Siva Ailawafi or the fire knife dances. Those are very traditional dances in the Samoan culture. And though we know that Flag Day also reflects a time to celebrate the years of American dominance and also taking care of us. So Flag Day also means Cultural Day. So Cultural Day means in the sense of dancing, we were able to teach the students those dances to feel the spirit of Flag Day and also having a strong pride not only in our school, but in their identity as Samoans, doing dances. Thank you.
Reporting from Pango Pango in American Samoa, I am Arian Torres Suwan, 1 with 25.
Thanks, Arian. Meanwhile, in Palau, through economic and military assistance, the U.S. required to uphold its compact or agreement of free association with Western Pacific nations like the Republic of Marshall Islands, the Federated States of Micronesia, and the Republic of Palau. Eagle News correspondent Francesca Joy Moran provides a recap of a U.S. military exercise that recently took place in her part of the world. Take a look.
It shows a good relationship we have with the United States of America, where they honor their part of the Waffle agreement, and their presence is just to strengthen this relationship.
Upon arrival at Corrores International Airport, soldiers from the U.S. Army demonstrated how to secure an airfield with the collaboration of the Palauan security forces. This was the first of many training events during Exercise Palau, which served as a demonstration of America's commitment to the long-term security of Palau as outlined in the Compact of Free Association, or COFA, between the two governments. Both nations also trained and exchanged ideas in several areas, such as law enforcement and border security. A veterinarian outreach program also took place at the Palau Animal Welfare Society, or PAWS, in Koror. There, U.S. Army veterinarians and PAWS counterparts partnered to aid the community in providing basic animal health care for pets. Other American personnel visited the school to provide free assistance, as well as to teach the children about the importance of staying healthy.
Because Palau has quite a few doctors on island, and we don't have a lot of specialties in terms of, we have limited services, like we only have a few dentists, and so I think for the Army to bring additional services to the island, it gives the community members access to more more unlimited or more services beyond what we can offer on the island, and so it also gives us teaches us innovative ways to teach the community members to take care of their health.
Many of the local residents that Eagle News spoke reacted positively to this recent U.S. presence. Others had mixed opinions but declined to be interviewed.
My reaction is reassurance and confidence that if anything should happen in the world, our safety will be part of the United States strategy in keeping the region safe.
Entrances Palau falls under the U.S. Army's Pacific Pathways concept, which aim at strengthening relationships and help to ensure that Palau and other island nations build sustainable, resilient, and inclusive economic growth. Reporting from Coro Palau, this is Francesca Joy Miran, 125.
Thanks, Francesca. When we come back, Major League Baseball Food Festival creates a field of dreams for baseball and food fans. Eagle News Washington, D.C. Weekend Edition will return shortly. Stay with us. This is Eagle News Washington, D.C. Weekend Edition. I'm Lonnie Valdicanchos. In Los Angeles, Major League Baseball Food Festival wins over fans and food lovers. Eagle News correspondents Eva and Alan Basalyahe with the report.
Written and composed over 100 years ago, Take Me Out to the Ball Game pays tribute to America's national pastime.
What's notably phrased in this iconic song is food, specifically Cracker Jacks and peanuts.
But these days, eating options at the game are much more plentiful,
bringing together delicious dishes from the 30 Major League Baseball stadiums,
plus 3 international ballparks.
The MLB Food Fest in Los Angeles, California saves you from having to travel across the country to every baseball field, munching on things like ultimate cheese fries, hot lobster rolls, and steak sandwiches.
Wow! My quads are on fire!
It's a fun collaborative effort. We work with all of our 30 teams. We work with them on selecting the food item of their choice, and then work with their concessionaires on the menu item as well as the recipe, and bring it all together. MLB Food Fest is a dream for any baseball fan, but also any food fan. And it gives not only just a culinary experience, but also a fun interactive element. That's probably one of the most exciting parts of this event, is that joy and genuine excitement on people's faces as they're walking through the venue. Food, fun, laughter, celebrating, our game of baseball, but also spending time with their friends and family.
With over 30 mouth-watering treats to try, we'd better get started if we want to taste them all.
Whether salty, savory, or sweet, the variety of food choices was enough to put a smile on everyone's faces.
So, how did that taste?
It's delicious.
Some cuisine was good for eating with a friend, while others, well, not so much. Even though baseball is America's national pastime, the festival presentation included dishes that were international. Refined. And at times, muy caliente. But while the food seemed limitless, sadly the capacity of our stomachs was not. Still, there was one more snack we heard about that absolutely demanded to be checked out.
The last stop on our MLB food tour is at the Seattle Mariners booth, where they're serving up, you guessed it, toasted grasshoppers.
Bugs not your thing? Well, this just might change your mind.
We have to ask, Bugs, why?
To be honest, it's different. As you can see, we're here today trying new foods, and this was next on the menu, and I'm open to try anything.
Why not?
They're exotic.
Does it taste good?
Yeah, it tastes good.
They're yummy. It's like shrimp.
It's actually not that bad. Very salty, very lemony, a little bit of spice, and very crunchy.
Very salty, lemony, but good. It kind of tastes like a little ball of tahini.
Just like a cricket, it's very salty, very crunchy texture, and very lemony as well. Very good too.
Would you recommend somebody else to try it?
You should try it.
Aside from the toasted grasshoppers, what else did you sample here at MLB Food Fest that you felt was very good?
The dilly dog, that one's the pickle inside the corn dog. That was really interesting.
So Victoria, how do you feel about being able to sample all the food from the different stadiums in just one place?
It's quite overwhelming, but in the best way, I think. I really would not have the opportunity, I think, to go to all of these different stadiums within my lifetime. And now I'm going to have a memory that incorporates everything in just one night.
The MLB Food Fest will be offered 2 more times this year, in New York City and London. And just like last year, tickets are expected to sell out very quickly. Reporting from Los Angeles, California, for Alan, who heads to Grasshopper Away, I am Eva for Eagle News, and we are 1-25.
Thanks, Eva and Alan. That is today's Eagle News Washington, D.C. Weekend Edition. Join us again next week for stories from our bureaus across the nation and around the globe. Visit our websites at Eaglenews.PH and EagleNewsLive.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/EagleNewsPH. Thank you for watching. I am Lani Valdecantos. I am 1-25.